we have just finished playing our first full game of Friday by Rio Grande Games. We thought we'd give you our first impressions here on Legendary Tactics. Now, this was my first game, but this is your second or third game.
I played a couple digitally. So hardtop, like
hard copy.
First, I really enjoyed actually the hard copy too.
Okay, so what did you like
to have tactile. I love the building tension.
Yes, yes. As it gets...
you get down to like 1 or 2 lives left, and you're like, okay, right? Like we got to get through this, and we don't have any leeway.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Yes, absolutely.
It actually really evoked some good emotion.
Yeah. No, it was
surprisingly.
It's pretty fun. I like that the theme is really neat. That you're Friday, and you're trying to help this hapless Robinson Crusoe get through all the hazards and everything. Lots of some decent decisions. It's a lot of luck, but there's some.
It is a bit of luck based.
It is a bit luck based and so forth. But is it fun? Absolutely. And so I think I really enjoyed it. It plays pretty quick. It's a nice solo challenge.
I think there's enough strategy here, though, that you could really kind of work in like some strategic elements, because you do need to kind of consider parsing down your deck.
Yes, that is the strategy.
So at what point do you say, you know what, I'm going to spend like 4 lives to take a big hit on a round because I've played a lot of cards out with a lot of -1s, right?
Yeah.
And we tried that approach in our playthrough, and we lost.
Yeah.
We went down. We did get down all the way to the red zones. I mean, we were pretty close to getting there.
Yeah, we were, and there weren't many cards in the red zone left.
Before we got to fight the pirates.
Could we have beaten the pirates? It's very doubtful.
We weren't hitting 40.
We
weren't. There was no way we were hitting 52.
Yeah.
So I think we would have gotten crushed there.
Yes. However, I think there is some strategy to it and choice. And that sort of thing. And it is fun to kind of that push your luck mechanic.
Yeah, and I do love how you pair your deck, you build your deck. And a lot of card events too. That I kind of like that add in a bit of an element too. So plus 2 cards, or adding 1 extra life. And I think there's some strategy there, especially when you get your choices.
Yes.
Which direction do you want to go with your main deck, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Although, if it is maybe, I don't know if it's a negative. Some of the choices are a little bit obvious too. Like yes, you have decisions to make, but a lot of them are kind of like, what else would you have done?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could always try and go and fight the heart. Early, I guess it depends. Early game too versus late game versus mid game. Who do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Because generally you're going to get 2 guys. Let's just pull 2 up here. A 2 and a 0, right? So if we were in the green phase. Yeah, do you want to go for the much easier 0 tackle, or do you want to go and
But you only get 1 draw. Here you draw 3.
But you know what I'm noticing, though? Look at the difference in yellow phase.
Yeah.
How much easier it actually is, even in the red phase. So there is some strategy to actually keeping that 0 in play early.
Yeah, maybe.
So you get it easier late.
But you have to be able to win the 2,
That's right.
Right? So,
that's right.
Yeah,
so I never thought of that.
As a solo game, I would say, it almost feels like a more lively version of solitaire in a way, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, to me, that's kind of the vibe that I get from it. It plays like a nice version of solitaire or something, but fancier. There's a little more going on.
How do you feel this played sort of cooperatively?
Oh, I think it's fun.
I think it was fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
I would sit down with you and play this again.
Yeah,
I would even sit down with you, Flash.
You'd have to read the rules.
I know. I'm not telling them nothing. Figure it out, Flash.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, the special abilities also really spice it up as well.
I like that.
That makes it really...
Yeah, and I was actually kind of curious, because you mentioned at the bottom of the... every time you flush through your deck, you have to add in.
You add in an aging card. Yeah, the mechanics of it were kind of elegant in that sense. So you have your deck that you're building with your attack values, and then you've got the hazards, but then you have this aging deck.
Yeah.
And initially, these cards... Whoops, sorry.
That's the other end of it, yeah.
Oh, sorry, this is not the aging deck. Where's the aging deck? We move stuff around.
Oh, maybe it's right, these ones here.
Yeah, this one... no, that's not it either.
Okay.
So anyway, the aging deck... Oh, here it is. I don't know how it got over here. But anyway, so it starts out rather benign, like 0.
But it still gives you kind of annoying, like -1 life.
-2,
right.
0, right? And these are... And sometimes it's highest card equals 0 or -1 life. That can be punishing, right?
Yeah, it's a hindrance.
And these cards are a little more expensive to get rid of if you
they cost 2 life. But
if you look at the last 3, you got -4, -5, and 0, but
-2 life. Yeah, so it starts really punishing you. At a time in the game where you can't really afford that, because we notice that your life becomes your life points really dwindle
down.
Yeah, so that's kind of a really harsh kind of way to...
Hey, island life is harsh.
It's not easy, yeah.
Now, if there's any negatives to this game, what would you say?
Maybe your luck-based bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit too like. I mean, you get some bad draws. You get some bad draws here, some bad combos. You are kind of depending a lot on the card draw.
Yeah, and that is kind of luck. At the end of the day, you can draw 3 -1s and you're toast. Like there's nothing you can do. You're going to take a big hit.
2, there's 5 life, right? And so you're just really behind the eight ball. So I think that I could see some really swingy games with it.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
That being said, I think it's really fun. I think it's fun to even play the 2-player cooperative like Nato and I did. I think that's a great...
Well, if I could just offer a negative from my perspective, the rules I found to be, like, they're quite confusing actually for what they are. The setup oddly has its own booklet, which is not immediately obvious. Like, I picked up the rule book. I'm like,
start going through. He's like, "Where's the setup?"
It's usually at the start. They dive right in. I'm like, "Oh, maybe they're just introducing the concept." No, it's nothing here. Oh, there's another pamphlet. So you lose this pamphlet, or the kids throw it away, and you can't play anymore.
Right? Because you don't know how to play. You're going the board game geek.
Yeah, I mean that may be true of the rule book as well. But what I found, like the rule book, like the biggest challenge for me was when I showed this at the time. It's like, okay, here's a hazard card. Well, I'll use the overhead camera here. Here's a hazard card. Here's an aging card, and here is your So this is your basic start deck. Right. One of your cards from there. It's like at first blush, it is.
How do you tell the difference?
Whoa, I don't need.
So those are 3 different decks,
How does this work? And it was only, and it's not. It wasn't
clearly
super clear early enough in this. In the rule book,
it took a little more searching than it should have required.
Yeah, like, and again, I don't know if the people can see this on the camera here, but it says like fighting cards, Robinson cards, and aging cards. But there's nothing to kind of indicate. Like I'm looking like, what's the difference?
I guess like the green background versus the blue. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
but there was also this little shaded character face, which is so like kind of obscure, right? And they didn't mention it.
And I think they could have made the art different. I mean, obviously, keep the backs of the cards.
Or even print aging cards somewhere on
or something, because it's not obvious that Very Hungry is an aging card, right? So you can't even refer to that.
Right.
So that part for me, I found it very confusing to get started until we had our first playthrough. I really wasn't sure if I knew what we were doing. Yeah. But once you actually play, it's actually a very straightforward game.
Yeah. There you go.
But that getting started, that the problem is you might get someone who picks up this game and says, "Oh, it's simple," and it'd be a fun family game. Yeah. And they try and fight their way through the first bit of the rules, and they're like, I don't know, and you throw the rule book and miss out on a great game.
Because it is a fun game.
It's
a fun game.
It is.
Yeah.
As long as you can, and hey, maybe...
And I think it's great for kids of all ages, too. Yeah. I think you could play this with the younger kids, too, at home, no problem.
Maybe there's people that in the chat that'll laugh at me for not knowing the difference between the aging cards and the Robinson cards. But I don't know. But to me, I found it a little bit hard to get, like even on these here, it's not obvious which one is for the aging deck, which one's the Robinson deck, which one's the hazard deck.
Right. Again, just a little more like clarification on what things are.
Yeah. Now that I've played, no problem.
Yeah. It's like you've watched them do an island though. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Island Life is hard. So anyway, if you think Island Life is hard, please don't forget to like, subscribe, consider joining our channel membership. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And don't forget to get out there,
get legendary,
and get gaming.